The Democratic Alliance has named Chris Pappas as its KwaZulu-Natal premier candidate for next year's national elections. The party says Pappas has a track record of good governance and improved service delivery as the mayor of the Umgeni municipality and will restore the province to its former glory. Let's get some analysis now from Dr Harlan Cloete. He's with the School of Public Leadership and Local Government at the University of the Free State. Doc, thank you very much for your time here on All Angles. Just firstly, of course, this is Christopher Pappas becoming the DA's very first mayor in KZN. He, according to what you see and what he's done in Umgeni, do you think he's strong enough to face off other candidates from other parties from next year?
Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to your viewers. Just a correction, it's the School of Public Administration and Management at the University of the Free State.
All right.
Look, I think what counts in Chris's favor is his youth. I watched the program just a couple of months back on Carte Blanche. So on the other channel, they did an in-depth documentary on him. And he certainly has youth on its side. You know, I think often politicians in this country are accused of having to be in retirement already because a lot of our politicians are already senior citizens. And so what counts in Chris's favor, I think, are two things. One is his youth. He has been around for a long time. I think he was one of the youngest councillors as well. And the fact that he can speak a vernac, you know, which really counts in his favor. So yeah, he is inspirational, I think.
And I mean, if you look at it all in all, with the Democratic Alliance, maybe we could give them that as South Africans, that they are bringing in more youth. I mean, the city of Cape Town, for instance, at some point had the youngest mayor in Jordan Hill-Lewis.
Yes, I've made the point. I think we need younger people. You know, we need. I think eNCA you have Ronald Lamola, was young, who brings that energy into the office. And I think a lot of our politicians looks tired. You know, if I listen to the president sometimes, he looks so tired. It looks like he doesn't want to be there anymore. But certainly with the younger politicians, there's still the energy. There's the enthusiasm, there's a will to want to make a difference. I think when you're young, you are ambitious, you want to try new things. And the older you become, the danger is that you become so set in your ways about towing the line. I think this country certainly needs a new injection of younger politicians. And I think we have moved beyond ideology in this country, or we should move beyond ideology, where we have a pragmatic approach to our politics and our policies and our governance. I think people have reached that point in the country, whether it's black or white or whoever, just keep the lights on. I think that is the pragmatism that we are looking, that South Africans are looking towards politicians. Come with practical, innovative solutions, working with different sectors of society. I think South Africans politicians are masters in keeping people apart. And so certainly our body politic needs younger, vibrant, creative energy into this space.
Now, Doc, you know, looking at the fact that he is the first openly gay politician to be elected in government, not only in the South African context, but also in the African continent. This also showing that he's also probably the perfect candidate for those who are still marginalized in society, the LGBTQI+.
I think it shouldn't really matter his sexual orientation, you know.
Of course, yeah.
It shouldn't matter. If the person is good enough, he's good enough. And so Chris has shown that he is a capable, visionary, hard-working politician, honest, open and transparent. That is what people want. And I think that will draw people to him. The fact that he is openly gay, I think will draw people to him, because it shows that he doesn't have skeletons in the closet, and then he is willing to open up about his sexuality. Yeah, and so I think it's, that is what South Africans want: openness and transparency from their politicians.
And I think it's also about, you know, the spearheading of policy. I mean, he's also going to be a part of, you know, leaders who also make policy, etc. If he does become premier of KZN, to be able to also represent those in the LGBTQI+ community. And maybe it's something positive for them, at least in terms of the fact that they've felt marginalized for quite a while, even though in South Africa we do, of course, have those rights that actually protect them. Now, talk to me about the fact that just a few months ago, the IFP, which is still quite strong, especially after what we saw in the 2021 local government elections, is still quite strong in many municipalities in KZN, and it signing with the DA that Service Delivery Pact, and now there's also this Moonshot Pact in terms of the elections next year. This obviously counting as a positive for the DA with its candidate who can also speak the isiZulu, the language that is mostly used in that province?
I think Nelson Mandela at one stage says if you can speak the language of another person, you're speaking to his heart. And there is a close relationship between the DA and the IFP in the province. You are right that they are part of this alliance that is trying to form a broad pact after next year's election, so that to keep the ANC out. At the same time, I think the IFP, one of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelez's wish was for the ANC and the IFP to work closer together. But I do think, that the IFP and the DA have a more comfortable alliance, for the lack of a better word. I think ideologically and practically, they're siding more with the DA IFP. The DA ANC relationship in the province has not always been good. I think some ANC leaders look at Chris Pappas and look at the audacity almost. Who are you? Who are you to come into our area? But he is making inroads. The DA has made consistent inroads in the province over a protracted time. But the KZN politics is volatile. It'll be interesting to see over the next couple of months whether the IFP in fact can stick together. Remember, the Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi was the unifying factor within the party, and so there are even some in the IFP who are not too comfortable with a close relationship with the DA, favouring more a close relationship with the ANC. And so the province, I do not think that we will have an outright winner in that province next year, and that it will be interesting. But the DA has made it clear that it favours working with the IFP instead of working with the ANC. And so the IFP, although working with the DA currently, I don't think they have ruled out. The Youth League within the IFP are in favour of a closer working relationship with the ANC.
Doc, thank you very much for your time here on eNCA. It's going to be an interesting few months, of course, as we go into those elections, although the electoral bill, of course, is also still being discussed at the Constitutional Court. So it will be quite interesting to see exactly which bill we vote under in South Africa. Dr Harlan Cloete, he is joining us from Cape Town and is from the University of the Free State.